could be more challenging and embarrassing than having to talk puberty with your 9-year-old girl child? Questions most parents ponder over in approaching. On to today's edition of the program, we'll be talking about mothers discussing puberty with their teenage girl child. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to another edition of the program. We'll be meeting our guests after the break. You're welcome back to the program. Guest on today's edition of the program is Dr. Carol Kamwe, clinical psychologist. Good morning. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Okay. Today we are talking about mothers talking puberty with their teenage girls. What is puberty?
When we talk about puberty, we see all the physical change the child in between 9 and 11 years old will experience. It differs from boys to girls. Yes. And I can say in French that chez les filles, on va voir, elle va grandir très vite. On va voir les poussées mammaires, les poils pubiens, les graisses qui se repartissent de façon différente sur le corps. Chez les garçons, la voix va muer. Ce sera aussi les poils pubiens et puis la musculature qui commence à se faire autrement. Il commence à avoir un corps d'homme, il commence à avoir un corps de femme.
Is there an age for puberty to begin?
It varies.
Okay.
It varies, I say, but they used to say it's earlier in girls than boys. In girls, they said 11 in between 8, 9 to 13, and boys 9 to 14. Yes.
Okay, at what age should parents begin talking sex with their children and puberty in particular? Should it be before the signs or after the signs of puberty on the child?
I think we used to say prevention is better than cure. You don't wait for the opportunity for a job before going to the school of journalism to start learning how to do a broadcast
or address the public.
Yes, so it's better to talk about it before, to prepare the child to know what he will experience, because it is not easy for a child to observe all these changes on his body, because all these changes on his body also change the vision, the perception of his social environment, because social environment have a definition of a child who has breast or menses or a boy of this age, because they say each person has a role. So all this, the child will experience it, and he will be a little bit disturbed. It prevents the child to have unanswered questions when the time comes, and it helps the child to go through this period more adaptively. Yes.
So, who should introduce these discussions to the girl child? Who should start telling the girl child about these changes? Should it be the mother or the father?
It depends on the family. You don't assume that we have a monoparental family, and in that monoparental family, the only parent the child has is the father. Will the father wait until the mother come back to speak and talk with his daughter? And if the monoparental family is the mother, will she wait the father to come back to talk to the child? So I think any parent can discuss and prepare the child for puberty. But I would say in families where we have both children, both father and mother, we assume that the best person to talk about puberty to the girl child is the mother, because she experienced it and she knows how, and she knows what the girl could go through. But it is not only her duty, because it is a scientific thing.
Okay.
When I was in school, our biology teacher was a man teaching reproductive organs, all these stuff, menses, calculations, cycle, everything. So any parent, but I will advise that we assume regularly that the mother.
If a parent discovers now that the child had already have acquaintance with the changes or acquaintance with some of have had acquaintance with the changes and has already knowledge about the topic, and what she has already learned does not tie with what the parents will want her to know, what should be done?
It will be a little bit difficult. I assume that at that stage, the relationship with the father or the parent who want to talk about that to the child was not too, I say, intimate. Yes, they were just talking about food, school, sport, not things concerning intimate life of the child. So most of the time it's difficult to start, but it is better to start when you realize that your child have learned things that are not good for her. It is good to start, but how to start? Knowing your child, you may start by joking. You may start with, according to the class she is, you may start by asking questions about what they see in class, or you may start by watching a program talking about that with the child. It depends.
So if you discover, or if a parent discovers that he or she wants to introduce this topic or discuss this topic with the child, the girl child, and the child does not want to listen to or shy discussing this with the parents, how should they handle the situation?
Yes, most of the time the child is shy to talk about that questions with the parent, because it seems like yes, it depends. But I would say, before asking this question, I would say, to prevent this to come, it is better that any parent should be close to his child. Yes, since the child is 3, 2, yes, because when you are close to your child, you let your child express himself. Let the child know that he is important. He has his point of view to give. You can discuss with him, not just giving instructions that he cannot discuss or he cannot ask questions what you have taught. It is difficult. So, how to handle it when the child is shy? I think it is better to explain to the child that it is for her good. It is just to guide her how to handle it. And if it is still difficult, maybe you can look in the family, an auntie or an uncle or an elder sister, a cousin close to her, who can introduce it to her, and you monitor their conversation, you monitor their session, you can say like that, yes.
Should the boy be treated differently from the girl during this period? That is, should the boy be allowed to date and the girl no? Is there a particular treatment? Because it is a period that the girl child is agitated, there are so many transformation and there are so many things that she would like to discover.
So do the boy.
Yeah.
The boy is agitated too.
Yeah.
But why should I allow my boy child to date and prevent my girl child to date? My boy child will date with who? A duck? A monkey? He will date with a girl.
Yeah.
But who will be that girl? Somebody else's daughter. So I think there will be a little bit different, but in the background, we will not have in the appearance, it may be different, but the lessons will be the same because you should respect the person in front of you. Most of the time, boy child knows that having sex with 2 or 3 girls makes them look like they are real men. And they will be the first person to say, I went to bed with this, and this. She is a bitch. That's why I was saying, why should I allow my boy child to date and prevent my girl? The boy will not go out with a duck or a monkey. He will go out with a girl. So they have to learn how to respect each other, how to control their emotions, how to understand. That's why it is good to talk about that before the period. Because you will see a boy say, I'm in love with Philomene. 3 months after, he will say, I'm in love with Josephine or Esther. It is good to let them know that at the beginning, at times, it functions like that. So he will not go in the relation as if it was the only emotion or feeling he would experience during his trip on Earth.
Who should talk about puberty or sexual education to the teenage girl child is next on the program. We'll be right back.
Mais la puberté pour les jeunes filles, je crois que c'est la maman qui est mieux placée pour donner des conseils de ça à sa fille. Et le père aussi bien placé pour parler des trucs de femmes et d'hommes aussi à son garçon. Oui, bon, à partir d'une fille qui a déjà à partir de 11 ans, 12 ans, le père peut déjà faire signe à la mère de la prendre en charge. Oui, c'est avec le concours de papa, c'est pas seulement le concours de la maman seule. Et quand le fils est aussi têtu, si la maman voit que le fils est désordonné, elle fait aussi signe à papa. Papa engage aussi le débat. Et puis c'est vice versa, on se consacre.
Well, I think for a young girl, she should start telling her about her puberty at the age of 16 years. At least that's when she's exposed to so many things. She's exposed to the world, and you need to dialogue with her, explain, educate her on her puberty. No, I think both parents are responsible for it. Talk with her daughter, especially the mother. She's the way one to talk with dialogue with the daughters when they are of that age.
Je pense que c'est le papa, c'est la maman autant pour moi qui doit le faire. Pourquoi? Parce qu'elle a été une jeune fille, donc elle peut comprendre les étapes du développement de la vie d'une jeune fille. À mon avis, elle est mieux placée pour en parler, bien qu'en Afrique, c'est un sujet tabou. Si la maman n'est pas là, le père devra prendre ses responsabilités en main, ou s'il a une fille aînée, elle peut également le faire.
Bon, pour un bon épanouissement d'une jeune fille pour sa puberté, il est même conseillé que les 2 parents tiennent informer l'enfant sur ce que c'est que la puberté et comment s'y prendre pour savoir comment mieux gérer ça.
You're welcome back to the program, Doctor. You just saw the opinion of men. Most men said they prefer that the mother should talk sexuality or puberty with the girl child. Is it because the men are running away from responsibilities, or the mother is well placed to discuss this?
According to what they said, I don't think they are running away from their responsibility, because most of them first said both parents are responsible, but they think that the mother is the best person to do it because she was a girl before becoming a woman, so she experienced it before the girl child. And a man said, but if the mother is not there, the father will be obliged to do it himself. Yes, they are not running away. I think behind is that the girl child will feel more free and comfortable to talk with the mother. Yes, I think
it's commonly said that the girl child is more closer to the father than the mother. Is it not an advantage that the father should be the one to talk this with her?
It depends. At times, you may be closer to somebody to talk about these things and not too closer to talk about these other things. Yes. But as they said, the father has his point of view on the questions, being a man. When it will be time to advise how to cope with men's regard.
Okay.
Yes. He can give good advice because he did so. So I agree with them that both parents can do it. Yes.
Now, with the advent of social media, children are exposed at a very tender age with sexual education through films, and even at school with telephones. They are exposed to telephones. They have the TV with a lot of series talking about the man and the woman, and how should this be handled? Don't you think it's a danger for children to get into maybe sexual life before they are being educated about?
The question is, you talked about sexual education through phones, media, and all this stuff. The question is it really sexual education? Because sexual education teaches you what you are, how you function, and how to cope with all these changes in you, how to understand and choose how to behave appropriately. But all these are just imaginations. People wrote stories and others do it like movies, and I don't think it is really sexual education. Yes, they just see things, but without explanations. Yes. So, and normally, even when the child is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the child wants to be an adult. He wants to grow. He wants to be independent. That's why at times you will see the small boy wearing father's shoes, ties, or a small girl doing all the mother was doing, because
makeup.
Yes.
Just like what she usually see the mother do.
Yes. But this exposure doesn't really prepare the child on what will happen in him.
Okay, because I was thinking maybe the question was not well asked, because I was thinking they are exposed to all this. Will this not mislead them before the mother even thinks of talking sexual education?
It may mislead them, because before this sexual education, it starts by what you said, puberty, talk about what can happen or what may happen, when it may happen, and what does it mean, and how can you handle it. Yes. Then in television, you have many, many programs talking about showing teenagers behaving according to the script. Yes. And most of the time, the script doesn't fit with our culture and the parents' culture. Yes. So, as we were saying, as one of the man was saying, mother and father, they are working. And the strangers are educating their children through mediums. So, the child is in the house, but he is exchanging, interacting with people all around the world. And those people, the parents don't know them. They don't know their behavior, and they are not even aware of all the type of program they may watch. You have violent program, you have sexual program, you have even violent physical, verbally. So
at that level, then, what should be done to get the child on track?
It starts by knowing that the child is not just, what have you ate today? How was school? Are you in good health? That is not only what the child needs. The child also needs to be listened. And that starts even when he is 2, even 1. Because when you listen to a child, when you praise him when he do effort to do something good, when you talked about, you tell him this is good, this is not good, yes, it helps him to know in which path he should work, and it helps to bring up the good self-esteem. Good self-esteem is like an element of the mental health immunity system. Yes, that is how I call it. So when you help the child to have a good self-esteem, it will be a little bit difficult to see your child be too much influenced by some programs or some mates, because he will know his value, his competencies, he will have his principle, and he will know that, okay, you have your style, I have my style. There will be a little bit influence, but not too much. Yes, because at teenage, most of the child naturally, it's just like that. They are influenced by peers, because they want peers to look at them as a good person. They have some image they want the peers to have towards them. Yes.
Are there any tools to be used to accompany the education? Are there any particular tools that parents can use to accompany education during this period?
If the child like programs, you can download programs that talks about, if they saw it at school, you can download program not only to help them to understand and have marks in school, but also to understand what is happening inside themselves and to understand it and to move better. You can download program, but it's an everyday life education. It is not like in school. So on Monday we will talk about this, and on Tuesday we will talk about, when it sounds like natural, it goes better. Yes, the child is not like my father or my parent, my father or my mother want just to control what I'm doing. If it sounds like I'm working with you, it's better than it sounds like I'm controlling you. Teenagers don't like being controlled. Yes, but if it sounds like I love you, I'm just going with you, helping you to understand and go through and to be a best and good person in the future, it is better. But at times, the parent is obliged to do it as a control because the child also is not easy.
It's
Yes.
not easy because there is always this fight between them. It's like the child wants to show the mother that I'm already big, and the mother too wants to tell the child, you remain my child,
Yes.
so I'm supposed to tell you what you are supposed to do.
Yes.
Doctor, during this period, there are so many girls who are like, I should not call that frustration, who are like unable to digest some of the transformation, like when they are having their menses, the society looks at them, they believe that the society looks at them differently. They are unable to mix
The
with other
society look at
children.
them differently, really.
Yes.
Yes. It's
They
just
are
a belief.
unable to mix up with other children. You even discover that during this period, the girl child during her menses is like shy going to school or mixing with the other, with, let me say, her age mates. How do you help the child to accept her new life, as I may put it?
That's why preparation is very, very important. I received a woman who already had 2 children, talking about her experience, how she discovered her menses, and the mother just take Scott Palm and give it to her, period. No explanation, nothing. And she showed to the girl child how to use it. She used it and it finished. She thought, okay, maybe I was sick, maybe it was just a problem. Okay, the problem is finished. Next month, we started again. And she was not understanding what is happening. And the mother gave and she talked about it to the neighbor, laughing the fact that she was not understanding. She was traumatized and she kept it until she saw me. She was not coming because of that, but it was one of the things that traumatized her when she was okay. I say, really, you say the girl child have the impression that the society is looking at her in a different way. It is not just an impression. It is real, because these days, when you have breast, when it is only the size of a lemon, boys or even men or grandpa started to look at you and say things that are not easy to support.
Which are even strange.
Yes.
Which is not even familiar.
Yes. And you may see, at times, you see a girl, 8 years, a man will say, "Eh, voilà ma femme," she will cry. Because it is not something that she is used to, and it is not at her age. So, all these physical transformation may start when the child is not totally mentally ready to afford it. That is why it's better, it's recommended, I will recommend to talk about that to the girl child, to the boy child, before it starts. And if she is shy to discussing with the child, we will really know where is the problem that you can help her. Because I cannot say, do this, do that. While exchanging, interacting with your child on her problem, you will finally discover the source of the uncomfortable states she is in.
Next on the program, we met with some mothers who took us memory lane their experience during this period. Let's watch.
Quand j'ai eu la puberté, je ne respectais plus ma maman. Je sortais comme je voulais. Tout le temps que je rentrais, ma maman me parlait, elle me grondait, me tapait. Moi, je croyais que peut-être qu'elle me faisait du mal. Ça me permettait aussi d'aller, quand elle grondait comme ça, le truc, je partais chez mes copines, rester là-bas 2 jours, 3 jours. Quand j'ai eu l'âge de 20 ans, tout ça là, que je suis restée, dit que non, ce que je suis en train de faire là n'est pas bien. J'ai appelé ma maman, j'ai dit à maman de m'excuser de tout ce que j'ai fait. Comme je lui ai influencé, je lui ai marqué le respect. Et ma maman m'a dit, comme tu es venu me demander les excuses de rentrer, je vais te faire rentrer à la maison et tu continues tes études. Lorsqu'elle m'a dit ça, elle m'a amené faire des cours de soir. Sur les cours de soir, là, j'ai eu une copine qui a voulu encore me troubler un peu la tête et j'ai arrêté.
That period, to me, you know, I did not. My breast started coming out when I was with my biological parents. Then after that, I had to live away from them to go and make another home with another parents. Yes. So from my breast, my mother taught me how to do. She was the one who bought my breastwear. She come and teach me how I have to put on my breastwear and talk to me how I have to take care of my breast so that it should not grow too big. She taught me so many things about myself as a woman, how I have to take care with my inner ways, things of that nature. So after leaving her from the village, then when I was in the village, I went to my second parents when I was in Limbe. In Limbe there, I had to discover, because when she taught me, she never extend to a point of seeing my menses, you know. So it's there with my second parents that they taught me. I discovered it, then I rushed to my mom, the second mother, and explained to her, this is what I've discovered. It's there that she started giving me advice how I supposed to live. So after that, she was not even, she asked me to go and meet the elder sister that was in the house. She was the one relaying this. She taught me how to live and take care. The period, I know I must be very careful that period, because as from that age, I know that I'm matured. If I happen to play anyhow with a man, I will be pregnant, things of that nature. She taught me everything. Then from there, I have to follow all that the method that she taught me, how to behave. Then so finally, I find myself free, that I was not a victim in that period.
Expliquer les étapes.
Bien sûr, moi j'ai été élevée par ma grand-mère, d'accord. Et c'est la maman, c'était comme ma maman, c'est elle qui m'a expliqué ça, ainsi que mes nourrices. Voilà, ce que je dois dire, c'est qu'on doit transmettre ça de manière naturelle au sein même de la cellule familiale, entre femmes. C'est essentiel.
Bon, elle n'a pas attendu l'âge de 11 ans, elle parlait de temps en temps depuis l'enfance quand même. Mais quand je suis arrivée en classe de 4e, oui, c'est là où elle a commencé à mettre l'accent dessus. Et puis aussi avec les cours de ESF qu'on faisait à l'école, le professeur parlait souvent, on parlait des changements et tout le reste. Et après, quand j'ai eu mes premières règles, c'est ma grande sœur d'abord. Oui, j'en ai parlé à ma sœur, elle m'a dit ce qu'il fallait faire, elle m'a dit ce qui se passait, parce que j'avais quand même peur. Elle m'a dit ce qui se passait, elle m'a dit ce qu'il fallait faire et tout. Et puis aussi, on en parlait à maman. Oui. C'est elle qui m'a accompagnée en tout cas, si je peux dire ça comme ça.
Doctor, from some of the experiences that women shared during their puberty when they were younger, we had this parent who said her puberty wasn't so agitated because she came from a Christian home, which was very religious. Can we say religion can be a tool to be used to educate girls to keep them on the track?
Religions can be a tool, but I will not just say religion. I would say it's like a lifestyle.
Okay.
Yes, because you have people who say God doesn't exist, but they have a lifestyle better than some people who are going to church every day. So if the lifestyle is like to respect other people, respect yourself, a lifestyle who build a good self-esteem in the child, this will help the child to avoid some things. This will not prevent the child from having some feelings, because the feelings will be there. But the child will have the abilities, the child will have tools to handle it. Because this puberty or adolescence period, there is a major issue of identity. As we were saying, she has her menses, breast is coming out, and she is uncomfortable with it. Yes, it's because she is changing. She used to see herself in a certain way, and now herself is changing to another thing that she doesn't know.
She doesn't understand.
Or she doesn't understand. And in these changings, change the perception of the social environment. Many things are happening. So it is not easy.
Okay. How can we handle such a situation where during this period the girl child is exposed to so many societal ills? Like weeks back, we had a case of a 12-year-old young girl who was raped and she put to bed. Is it, apart from educating the girl child, telling her about the changes that she would experience, don't you think there is a plus to give her so that she should not fall prey to either rape or any other societal ill?
Yes, she must know how to protect herself. That is why at the beginning I was saying, why should I allow my boy child to date and prevent my girl to? Because another boy will do such things to my girl, or my boy will do it to the daughter of another person. Yes, because boys seems not to educated. They just grow up like wild apes. Yes, it's like most parents assume that the boy child already knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And that's why they are educated by peers, by medias, and all these stuffs. Most of the time, boys are educated that way, and that's why they don't have this mentality of controlling their persons. Yes, it's like a good boy should just do as his body is asking him to do. Yes, so boy or girl are exposed. Boy or girl are exposed, but more girls. So both should be taught how to protect themselves. Yes, to avoid risky situations. Yes, or if I find myself in this situation, what shall I do? Because at times they will not scream, or after the rape they will say nothing, because the person will say, if you say it to your mother, if you say it to your father, I will kill them, or you will die, or things like that. And the child, boy or girl, are afraid. Yes, because these days both are raped, but more girls than boys.
In a situation where a child during this age becomes pregnant, how should a parent handle this situation?
I think the parent must do an effort to look at the child, not his priorities, but the priority should be to protect and guide the child. Because at times, most of the time, the parent will say, what will the neighbor say? What would this person say? That my child has this and that, and take bad decisions. I think it would be better. It's very difficult to live with, but I think it is better to focus on the child and to think what would be the good thing to do for the child, not for me, but for the child. Yes.
Let's now watch the video of the 12-year-old young girl who was raped and recently put to bed at the Milan District Hospital. We'll be right back.
The arrival of a newborn baby is always joy in a family, no matter how it comes. It is the same mood actually reigning in the family of Germaine, 12 years old, who gave birth to a bouncing baby boy in Douala yesterday. Bienvenue Emmanuel, after she was raped by an unidentified individual on her way back to school. I was a student at government primary school in Dobasi. I was raped on my way back to school by an uncompleted building where I stopped to drink water. She delivered through a chirurgical operation at the Nilong District Hospital situated in Douala 3. The chirurgical operation went on hitch-free thanks to the professionalism of the medical staff of this health institution, who equally promised to be at her side. In our hospital, when we receive patients, we first of all take care of them before looking at the financial aspects. It is not the first time we are receiving such patients in our health institute, but it doesn't bother us. Being a mother at the age of 12 doesn't seem challenging for the new mother, who feels marvelous carrying her baby in her arms. I am very happy when I carry my baby. That is why I gave him the name Bienvenue and Emmanuel. I will do my best to take care of him. To bring up Bienvenue Emmanuel, little Germaine and her family call on world wishers to come to their aid.
Doctor, from the video we just said, that was a situation that happened months back. This little young girl was going to school. She was raped. She became pregnant and she had to put to bed. The first question I'll ask an expert like yourself is, what are we going to do, or what should a parent do with the child when the child falls prey to such a situation? Because at 12 she just started discovering the changes on her and she became pregnant. She is traumatized psychologically. How should such a case be handled?
I think the first thing to do when you realize the child has been raped is to bring her to the hospital to have a medical certificate. Yes. And then you bring the thing to court. Yes. Even if you don't know the person, yes, we just bring the thing to court. And the judges, they will know how to do, send police to do their investigations. And then the third thing is to take care of the child medically. The first thing is to take care of the child medically. But I think they can ask questions to know, because I don't really know the law, but maybe there are law who can allow abortion in such case. I don't know, but it is better to ask law people, what can we do? My child experienced this, and after that she is pregnant. actually do, they will advise the family. And after the medical care, she will need psychological care, yes, to prevent the installation, the deep installation of the psychotrauma. Yes, but the difficulties is that most of the parents don't want to talk about the psychological care, even when it is free. Because I am doing, let's say, volunteer or bénévole in an association working on that, against that. At times, when a child is raped, they just stop at the medical care. The association will go with them through the law process, medical process. When it comes on psychological care, they will say it's okay. Most of them think that she's a child, she'll forget it. She will not forget. Even if she forgot in her head, her body will not forget. Yes. The psychotrauma has a strange way to function. It will come back and it will come back. And the presence of this child will bring up the event more and more and more. So you have the medical care, psychological care, but the first thing is the medical certificate. Yes, when she come back, don't wash the child. Do nothing. Just bring her in the hospital, or him, if it is a boy, to the hospital to have his medical certificate that we would use to bring it into court.
So what follow-up should we do on the child so that she should, let me say, regain confidence on her? Because I have a follow-up of certain situation where people say if a little girl is being raped, it may affect her psychologically, and to an extent that when she will get older, she'll be unable to enjoy sex. At times, it may lead her to not even wanting to have sex when she gets married. So what are some of the psychological process that or education that she can go through?
It is not a matter of psychological education, it's a matter of psychotherapy.
Okay.
Yes, there are psychotherapies specialized for psychotrauma.
Okay.
Yes, and when this happens, it will not just lead to avoiding have sex with. It may also lead to having sex with anybody.
Okay.
Yes, that's why I was saying psychotrauma works in a strange way. It may prevent you from having sex. It may lead you to have sex with anybody. And it may prevent you to have sex with men because you hate men. And it may make you think that
going with a woman is better.
Yes. So it gives many
So
things.
how can we avoid all this?
I say psychological care.
Okay.
Yes. There are EMDR therapy or CBT therapy, but the best is EMDR therapy to take care of this. And what I will add on that is that the parent should not blame the child. Most of the time, they blame the child, saying that she shouldn't have, or you shouldn't have. It's not time for that. Even if you say to the child, okay, don't pass this way when you are going to school. We know that at times children think, okay, I'm safe, nothing will happen. Parents are exaggerating, and the child will pass on the way you say don't pass. But it is not time to blame it, because the child has the right to go a little bit from the room. Yes, he has the right to make errors. It's an error. But that error doesn't justify the action of the rapist. Yes. It is not because I went through the road you prevented me not to go that we will not bring the case to court. It's two different things. I disobey my parent, I went through this way, but you disobey the law. You raped me. I was just going to school. It's a place, it's a road. People like to say, je vais prendre le raccourci. Yes. I will take the short way.
Okay.
Yes, it's two different things. That must be clear. It's two different things.
I think there are two things to be handled here. The trauma because she was raped, and also she wasn't prepared to be a mother.
Yes. When she go through the psychological care, yes, that must be done. Because it's, I didn't go deep in because it's the process. So if it's just the rape and the trauma without the pregnancy, the psychotrauma will be handled only. Yes. But if after the rape you have a possibility of, most of the time there is a psychotrauma in this kind of situation, and a pregnancy behind, you must prepare her. Because the probability that she hit and maltreat, neglect the child is high. So she must be prepared.
Now we'll go a little bit personal. Maybe you tell us, Doctor, do you remember how you went through your puberty?
No.
Okay.
But I remember, but I was asking myself if it is puberty or not, because I was in many books.
Okay.
They were saying during puberty there are conflict with parents. There are what I've done is conflict with parents and agitation and go out this and that. But I was asking myself if I was going through adolescence and puberty, because it was good.
Wow.
Yes. I had all those feelings,
Yeah.
but I was prepared. My father was buying books
Okay.
talking about that,
Yeah.
and he was giving it to us, and we were reading it. He did not discuss with us.
Okay.
Yes, and then my mother was just teaching a child of God should respect this, should respect his body, should respect this and that. I don't remember. I really talked about, but I remember that I talked about my boyfriend with my mother.
And what was her reaction?
Nothing.
Wow.
We just discuss about it. Yes.
Okay. Okay, Doctor, tell us now, what does it take to become a psychologist? Because maybe we have so many young women out there listening to you who would like to become a psychologist like yourself.
It takes, after GCE or baccalaureate, it takes 5 years at university. Yes, and if you want to do your PhD too, then that is the psychology. And after that, I learned some psychotherapy, because we don't learn psychotherapy in the program at the university. So you may decide to learn any psychotherapy you want, or CBT or EMDR. Some are learning psychoanalysis psychotherapy. It takes time.
Okay, as a female psychologist, any challenges that you face?
Not yet. I don't feel like I have. Maybe I have them, but I don't feel them because I like my job.
Okay.
I like it.
So you've never been in a situation threatened by the men who are in the same field doing the same thing like you?
No. The challenge is the type of patients, the type of cases.
Okay.
Yes, there are complex cases and there are school cases.
Okay, what are some
cases.
of the frequent cases that comes to you?
Or you may have a child who have suicidal ideas, even a 7-year-old child.
Wow.
Yes, because he's thinking about his future and he has the impression he will not afford it. Yes, too much anxiety. Yes, and at times you have some children who have problems because they feel like rejected by their father. You have adults who have big problems of self-esteem. They don't know how to speak in public and they are big head of department in their and we have many type of psychotrauma. It may be because of the way the parents bring up the child, maybe things that happen in the family, things that happen in workplace. Yes.
Doctor, we are almost out of time. What can you tell all the young girls and women watching us right now, especially parents who have the duty bringing up their children, but we discover nowadays these children are being left alone, left to be educated by house helps or nannies, who are also children who need to be taken care of. What can you advise parents so that they should manage well the teenage girls through this transition?
I would say to parents to take their children as another professional project.
Okay.
I think is a good summary because most of the parents are working outside and they have their many files to treat. They will have a blank night because they have this file to be submit this day. Okay, I think if a child gives you blank night, it's another professional project that you have to handle. It's a must because it's your job. You long for it and it comes, so you have to manage it as another professional project. So a child is not just have you eaten, how was school or good health, medical health. No, the child is a person who needs to be pampered, who needs to be born. Yes, he needs many things than the money. Money is important, yes, because we should pay the school fees, medical care and all that. But at times they need to have your opinion, to have your point of view. When you look at your child, you observe your child, at times, even when the child is 3 years, you may see like his personality. I say personality because we don't talk about personality when he's a child, because you see his way of behaving or thinking, and you may know, you know what to encourage and what to discourage. If you are not there, when he will be teen, you say, where does he come from? He grew in your house, but you were absent. Yes, but the thing were there since, but you did not notice it. So take them as another professional project.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for taking some time out of your busy schedule to come and talk. Mothers discussing puberty with their teenage girls.
Thank you.
We hope having you on the program again some other time.
I hope what we did will help.
Yeah, it will. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it for today's edition of the program. If you did enjoy it, why not join us again some other time?